Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Screamin'. Welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and the Final Shape / Echoes Act 2 / Solstice of Heroes intel. And in today's video, we are going to be covering every solo AFK farm that all Destiny players need to know. Some of these have been around for a very long time. Some of them you can actually set up to have permanently. They're fairly easy to set up in all cases. So stick with me as I'm going to give you all the tricks that I've learned after years of doing this kind of thing. I'll even take you through the process of a couple of them, and the last one I'll actually take you through the entire process of it, really to give sort of a definitive confirmation on how it works, as though I have covered most of these things in the past, I always get some questions back. I'm sure I'll get some questions back on this one, but we'll try to cover all the bases. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. And remember, any of those things I just mentioned also enter you into any future giveaways on this YouTube channel, and we do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. And of course, when and if we reach 100,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away an Xbox or a PlayStation or a video card if you play on PC. Also check in the description box or the pinned comment for any live streams that either my buddy Sinister or DJ might be doing in order to cover one of these AFK farms that we're going to talk about later today. So to start off, because it is Solstice of Heroes, we're going to start there. Now, as I've talked about before, this Solstice actually I think was quite a big bump up to previous ones, as some of the weapons are actually pretty good. The bow is very good. I've heard good things about the hand cannon for PvP. I personally thought the rocket launcher would be a really good one, but I actually haven't heard that much about it. But bipod and reconstruction, it can also roll with hatchlings. I thought that was sort of an interesting one. And I've also heard that the shotgun is very good for PvP. The bow I have heard a lot about, though, especially for PvE, and because it does have Archer's Tempo, I do think that this would probably compete somewhere with the bow from this week's Nightfall, or the GM Nightfall. I don't know if those are the two best bows in the game as far as legendary bows are concerned at the moment, but I would definitely put them in the top 5. So this, as well as this week's GM bow, I say the GM bow because the Adept version is really going to be the best one. But in any case, you're going to need to farm out silver leaves. Now, I talked about how to farm out silver leaves very quickly earlier this week. That method required 2 people. This method will require only yourself. And if you're on a PC, this will be very easy to set up as an AFK farm through using a macro. People have asked what macro to use if you use on or play on PC. Tiny Task is the one I hear most recommended, but I'm also going to talk about, for people who are on console, how you can do this also AFK, or roughly AFK, about as close to AFK as you possibly can. Some of it might require a little bit of research on your end, but only so much as to know exactly what map to use, because we are going to be farming out the Crucible completely solo by using the private matches. Now, by doing this, you're going to be getting a few things. One, you will also get rank up from Lord Shaxx, so you can get all the rank rewards, including materials, as well as Ascendant Shards, as well as, Crucible rank for the rank Engrams. But you're going to get silver leaves for this, and it's actually a lot faster than the previous farm that I talked about. Remember, you can also rank up weapons this way. All the farms that we're going to talk about today are going to help rank up weapons in one way, shape, or form. So that's going to be sort of ubiquitous across the board. But in order to do this one, the most efficient way is to first, obviously, head over to your destinations page, head over to the Crucible, and queue up private matches. Now, the settings are going to be important. You're going to want to first, and this is where the research might come in a little bit on your end, because I haven't had a chance to pick or look through all of these, and I would actually love a little bit of feedback in the comment section. consider that an entry into the next giveaway for this video. If you can tell me what map in the private matches, that's all the maps that we have, when you're playing control, any sort of control, spawns you closest to the initial flag. Because the closer you spawn to the flag, if you can actually find a map that allows you to spawn on a flag during control, you can actually do this completely AFK. It doesn't matter what you're on. You can be on any console or on a PC, and you won't even have to set up a macro. All I need to know is what map do you spawn directly on the flag, or at least very close to it, closest you can be as possible. But that's only part of it. Doesn't matter really if you're looking to farm this out solo, whether or not you're directly on the flag. The settings that you're going to want to set up are going to be the most important thing. So the first thing you want is when you go to game type, it's not going to be control, it's going to be over on the next page, zone control. Match time limit shouldn't matter. The high score, though, you want to be at 25. What this does is when you spawn in, as soon as you capture 3 points, you will be at 27 points and the match should end. The other thing you want is down under Summon Sparrow. You want this enabled. This will allow you to get to the 3 points as quickly as possible. Now, that's if you want to play actively. If you want to play completely AFK, you would just need to spawn on one particular flag, capture that point, and then just wait out the timer. So you'll still get silver leaves, you'll still rank up, you'll still get all the good stuff, but it won't be quite as fast. However, if you can set up a macro where you just spin around to all the 3 points, of course you could still do that on PC, and that would probably be the overall fastest farm. But there's always something for console players as well as PC players. Fortunately for PC players, they usually get the best of it, but I'm always trying to find the best ways for console players to just farm out this kind of stuff. And we will talk about another farm, that'll be the last one we cover, that will be as easy for console players as it is for people who play on PC. So just keep that in mind. So that's going to be the fastest way to get silver leaves, as every single time you complete one, you will get 5 silver leaves. Now, once a match is done, so long as you've set up those settings, you can just launch in and go to orbit at the end of the match as soon as it completes. Don't wait for it to go back to the home screen. You don't have to. You can just end the match. It'll go back to orbit. You'll still get all the rank up, all the credit for it, but it just saves you that time, and then you can just go right back into it so long as the settings are the same. Don't reset any of the settings. You won't have to. You can just go right back into the same match. So again, once you set it up, as you can see here, the settings will be saved, and you can just go to orbit. Once you get the credit for the completion of the match, you'll see the silver leaves drop, and then you can just go back to orbit and then load right in again. So that'll make that really quick. That's going to be the end of the information regarding how to farm out Solstice gear, though you can farm out a lot of things using that same method. So have fun with all of that. Hopefully you can get some rank and weapons rank up. Another thing I wanted to cover briefly is that you really want to pay attention now to what days are the best Legendary Lost Sectors to farm out, just because this definitely seems to be a feature, not a bug. I talked about it earlier in the week that we have this new focused decryption page, first page at Master Raoul, that rotates daily, that allows for a specific piece of gear. You can get some new stuff from this. You get all the new exotics this way. You just need a lot of exotic engrams, and you can get those from farming Legendary Lost Sectors. Legendary Lost Sectors are super easy to farm. Remember to do it. And I just kind of wanted to make mention of this. No AFK farm here specifically, but I haven't heard many people talk about this feature, and it is very cool. So it's one of the sort of more subtle things that they did in this last week's update that was worked apparently as it should be, although I think most people thought it was just something we weren't supposed to get at first, or whether it was working properly or not. I don't think we know at this point, to be totally honest, but it's definitely a feature in some way because it's rotating daily. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about, and I do talk about it every weekend, but just briefly, is free Trials loot. Now, you can get Trials loot AFK by doing the viewer bounties. What you want to do is go to twitch.tv. There'll be a link to a Twitch stream in the pinned comment or the description box below. Go to that stream. There you will see my buddy Sinister live streaming Trials of Osiris. All you have to do is have your Bungie and Twitch account linked. Once it is, you can get viewer bounties for Trials of Osiris done, and you will rank up Trials and get rank Trials rewards. All you have to do is watch the stream for an extended period of time. There's a number of different bounties you can do. Some of them require you to applaud. You'll see an applaud sort of script pop up on the screen in front of you. It'll have different emotes. You can do that. That's, again, you have to sort of view, but it'll come in every once so often a game, so you could just have the Twitch stream sort of beside you when you're doing other things. But some of it just come from watching for a while. The Bungie and Twitch link will also be on the screen. It'll be a little pop-up menu on the left side of the screen. That's sort of a one-step, so you can just sign into your Twitch account and then go to that stream, and then you can link your Bungie account directly through that plugin that'll be on the live stream of the player playing Trials of Osiris, so it makes it fairly easy. I did want to talk about, though, that if you are on a mobile device, which many people are, you will have to use your browser on your mobile device, not the Twitch app. Same thing also if you're on a console, watching on a console. Try using your browser versus the Twitch app. If you're on PC, you shouldn't have a problem. Xur's Care is right there at rank 10. You should be able to get that from those viewer bounties if you're a PvE player and you just don't want to play Trials of Osiris, but you want one of the best PvE weapons that's unfortunately locked behind the PvP wall, as I like to call it. Now, the last thing that we're going to cover is a farm that's available this week and is sort of, if not the only real true AFK farm for everybody in the game. This is a relic. This one has been around forever. And so long as this place does not get removed, it will be here for the remainder of D2, or at least for the foreseeable future. It has survived so many resets. I honestly thought it was going to be something that was changed years ago, but it's still here. So we're going to talk about it again. And in this video, I'll actually show how you can set it up and have it forever at your availability. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we are talking about the In the Deep farm. Sounds ominous, but it's not. Essentially, over on the moon, there is this campaign mission, In the Deep. It's available on a 3-week rotator, but when it is available, it has the only AFK farm still in the game that will give you everything, including XP. So you can actually AFK farm XP this way, and of course everything else that goes along with it. So weapons, XP, Glimmer, blah, 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 all the stuff. You might be able to get silver leaves from this. I don't know. I haven't tested. You used to be able to get stuff like that from doing things like this, but I think they might have changed it since then. In any case, once every 3 weeks, you can take advantage of this. Now, there's a specific thing you have to do, but it's fairly straightforward. This is not a very difficult mission to do. It's fairly quick. Once you get to the end of it, that's where you're going to have to do something specific to set up the farm, which is literally as simple as just making sure that you wait for the right audio cue, video cue, and jumping off a ledge to reset the encounter. It's at the very end of this mission. There'll be a point where you have to scan a lectern and essentially run out of the room that you're in. I know that sounds kind of silly, but there's going to be a part where you're going to have to flee the area that you're in after you've scanned this totem or lectern. All you have to do is not leave that room and you'll have an AFK farm. Now, I could just tell you that, but I'm going to go one step further. We're going to change character, so bear with me for 1 second. Because If I remember how to change my character. There it is. I have set up this AFK farm forever. Now, normally you can only do this once every 3 weeks. And most people will probably only use it once every 3 weeks. But if you had a character that you never completed that campaign mission on, you can just do the campaign mission to that point, and it'll save the checkpoint in the mission where you actually do the AFK farm. So I never did the full campaign on the moon on my Titan. Now, if you have, you can always reset a character and just save it on this point. I don't know how many people are going to want to do that, but hey, maybe you haven't played on a second or third character that much. It might be worth it. So I'm going to show you that because I've saved this exact checkpoint, where exactly you need to go and what exactly you need to do, because I'm just going to load into the mission right now. Now, it does require me going to the moon, and as you can see, this would be the checkpoint in that campaign mission. It looks a little different on my screen because I never completed it. You'll see it as that in the deep mission, and you have to basically do the mission to the very end spot that I'm going to show you that I have the checkpoint saved on. So this is another way you could save the checkpoint on another character and just always have it on that character. Or you can do it once every 3 weeks. But in any case, I'll mark it on my map just to make it a little bit easier. Not that it needs to be that much easier. I do have to run to it, so I do have to load into the moon and just run to this, not the checkpoint actually, I just have to run to where the mission normally starts. So for you, you'd have to do something very similar. You'd have to run to this specific spot, so this is actually good rehearsal for people who have never done it before, though I'm sure a lot of people have, they just might not remember how to exactly set this up. But essentially, you'll load into the moon, you'll run to this spot where I have marked on the map, and then you'll have to run through some different catacombs of the moon, kill a bunch of enemies before you get to the lectern that you have to scan. Once I get to this point on the moon, I'll load directly to the checkpoint. So you'll be able to see kind of what you have to do after the fact once you get to the lectern. And it'll only take you, I think, at most, maybe 5-6 minutes to get to the checkpoint that I'm going to show you I have saved. So it really doesn't take very long. And I think you can actually have the checkpoint saved for the entirety of the rest of the week once you set it up. You only might need to just load in and run to the spot that you see me running to here, and it should be loaded up. If not, the whole thing is so quick. If you're just looking to AFK farm, it's such an easy process to set up. So you'll run here, and I'll click on Start Mission. It's not going to start the mission for me. It's going to load me directly to the point where you have to be to actually set up the full AFK farm. So like I said, you'll do a little bit of this campaign mission. It'll take you maybe 5 minutes. You'll get to the point that you see right here. So there'll be a bunch of enemies in this area that you clear out once you've gotten down to this moon catacomb, which is not very far from where you saw me hit the flag. You'll jump up here. You'll scan this thing, this cryptolith. I thought I called it a lectern. It looks like the lectern. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. You'll scan it. Once it's scanned, wait for all the lights to go out. You'll see in 1 sec. Lights go out. And then just run over to this ledge and jump off the edge. Now what's going to happen is you're going to be saved at the exact spot that you saw me spawn in on. Once you do that, the encounter is set. You're all good to go. You'll load back in. And I, directly from where I scan the thing, sort of just turn around and run directly over to this rock in the ground. The reason I picked this one is because there's like this little ledge right here on the edge that's a little off the ground, but just a little bit higher than where the ads are spawning in. Now, you might die from these snipers up on top. It's no problem. You're going to respawn in at the exact same spot, and the AFK farm is going to be able to be continued. I'm just showing you this for example's sake and taking my time with it so that you know exactly where and what I'm talking about. So I just go over here. I jump up on here, I jump up on the top, and I will just take out these guys up here first. They won't ever respawn once they're dead. They're really doing a number on me, actually. But once those 4 acolytes are dead, you'll notice that the entire room will spawn infinite thrall. So that's really going to be what you take advantage of. You're going to kill those acolytes up top. I'll just show you really quick because they're going to be annoying if I don't. Kill these 4 guys. And you don't have to run up here to do it. But once they're dead, they're not going to respawn. And then I'm going to go back down to that first rock that I found right here. And there's so many ways you can do this now, but we'll just set up the old way of infinite fire. There's so many things that will just rebuff your heal at this point. Everybody has Devour. All classes with Prismatic have several things like this, but this is just the oldest school method that you could ever use with Sol Invictus. And yeah, you kill 1 thrall, and it'll just continually rebuff, and you can sit here forever. Have your weapons equipped that you need upgraded or just need XP for. You'll get XP for your character. So many things you can do in this spot. It's just a good thing to know. And that is going to conclude all the information for today's video. This was pretty wordy, I'm sure, but hopefully you found something interesting in it and something insightful. You might have learned something you didn't know. If you're a new player or even a veteran player, didn't know maybe some of this stuff still worked or how exactly it worked. I tried to be as thorough as possible. I like doing videos like this where I just sort of talk to the audience that I think is listening in a way that you like things explained in its full process and shown in its full process. I really enjoy doing these sort of podcast videos, so hopefully you stuck with me through the entirety of it. And like I said, hopefully you learned something. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn on the bell to post notifications so you ever miss out on any future Destiny 2 content like this. Remember, you can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Check the pinned comment and in the description for that Twitch stream for free trials, bounties, if that's something you're after. If you've watched to this point in the video, you can leave a hashtag the Final Shape or a hashtag Solstice of Heroes or a hashtag AFK in the comment section down below for another entry into the next giveaway for this video. Or let me know what map spawns you right on the flag if you can figure that out. And once more, I'm Wilhelm Scream. Thanks so much for watching again, and of course, we will see you next time.